So we connect to our Ujjayi breath. Letting the shape of breath grow and move, shift and enlarge, and so no count is required. All right, we'll set the left leg out and the right leg bent, knees set widely. You'll decide if you want foot in front of pelvis or foot beside right hip. Inhaling, reaching the arms out, left arm over left leg. Exhaling, reach left to open the left shoulder, reach left to lengthen the left side ribs, and then post and preserve that lengthening. Chest opener. Good. Inhale, we'll bring the right hand down. I'm going to intersperse some rounds of Uddiyana in here. So between my two thighs is the direction I'll face. Inhale into the waist, the hips, and then swift, thorough exhalation. Remain empty. Keeping the legs engaged. Draw inward, upward. release when needed. We'll switch sides. So we got the right leg out. Inhale the right arm over the right leg. So both arms outreaching. And exhale, reach right arm to open shoulder, reach through right side to lengthen ribs. Preserve that lengthening. Place the right hand down. We're reaching into chest opener, so left arm out reaches and back reaches. And so to reach back, feel how the ribs might be moved with breath, massaged, moved with breath, and how the rib cage might start to turn or spiral. I can spiral the torso and the ribs as my right leg remains engaged. And inhale, we'll bring the hand down. And then orienting between the two thighs. So my chest will face the direction between both thighs. Inhaling into the waist. And continuing to engage legs, exhale everything out swiftly, thoroughly. Remain empty. We're drawing the belly in. Last round of Uddiyana. All right. So let's lie on back. I want to get a little breath going into the back side. So if you need your feet to be on the ground or on a wall, to secure, to make your back feel good on the ground, please do that. Back is number one for this. Inhaling, we'll float the head and the shoulders up. And exhaling, reach out through the left leg. The elbows can shift and point at the right thigh. And then drawing and sinking the belly, the low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. And exhale, reach out right leg. Sink belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. And we'll continue. We'll just do a couple or a few more each side. This will be brief. I'm just kind of looking forward to the opportunity to move the belly, the waist, the area around the hip socket and the back. So if you use this as a general massaging move, it's kind of a feeling, awakening move, all that will be a great purposeful movement. Just finish up whatever pair you're on. So when you set your feet down, keep the knees bent. I'm going to do a lying side bend. So I'm keeping my knees bent toward the sky. You could theoretically do this with the soles of your feet together, lying in Baddha Konasana. So either will work. I'm choosing feet on ground because of my, I just want to feel the back, the low back on the ground. So inhale, stretch the left arm up onto the ground, overhead, and then exhaling, arcing to the right. So I am arcing my body. And one of the things I like to grab a hold of is I like when my right hand can grab my right ankle. So I'm side bending to my right. And you have the option of right hand grabbing right ankle. This does a couple of nice things, I think. One is, I'm not prone to folding forward or rolling or collapsing in the chest. Two, relaxed neck has a very different orientation here than if we were doing this seated. And you can create that flank type of pressure by pressing your right foot, pressing your feet into the ground. You can create a little more arc in the left side of your ribs, in the left side of your waist. And then inhale, we'll kind of shimmy with friction back to center. And we'll do the other side. So I'm leaving my knees bent because I want to feel the waist and the low back on near the ground. Inhaling, stretching the right arm overhead, which is along the ground. Exhale, arcing to our left. And you have the option of left hand grabbing left ankle if you want to increase the side bend. And then inhaling, we'll kind of shift back centrally. For bridge, bring the feet hip width. And when you're ready, we'll exhale, using the glutes, the butt, sending the fronts of the hips toward the sky. Let you get oriented in that bridge. If you like the addition of the block, and there's one right beside you, feel free to insert it. We'll be working with leg up. So we'll bring the feet, we'll walk the feet about an inch more closely together. Inhale, the right knee toward chest. Exhale, raise the right leg. And we'll switch sides, setting the right foot down. And inhaling, draw the left knee toward chest. Exhaling, reach the left leg toward sky. And let's exit by setting left foot down, pressing off of any prop, and lowering. All right. I'm going to set up dolphin with feet near wall. So let's turn to a side. You don't need a wall to set up dolphin, but I'll tell you that I want to set it up so that when we bring leg up, when we separate the legs, one foot could have a degree of rest. Also as a way of just calibrating the whereabouts of pelvis in space. So the wall is optional. We'll set up for dolphin. If you're using a wall, heels near it. Inhaling, setting the elbows under the shoulders, adjusting the shoulders, pressing, and then exhale, we'll press the knees off the ground. perceive the work of this pose, the energy, the intensity of the pose. Can you sense if that intensity or that workingness is moving? Is it possible to release any of the grip within the body? Quick examples as you're in dolphin. Maybe the toe joints are gripping. And as I open up the feet, the toe joints, maybe there's more of a flowingness through the feet and the legs. Is the abdomen subject to breath's influence? The energy, the intensity of the arms at work. Can the energy be sensed as moving through the shoulders and the arms? Or perhaps are we holding that energy contained or compartmentalized? Okay. Moving the pelvis minimally in space will raise the left leg. This also means the left foot can be on the wall. If you wanted to take the right hand away from the ground or set it or take the elbow off the ground, this is a nice setup in which to do it. You've got that additional support. But you may have some shoulder issues that preclude you from that. So we'll switch sides. Right arm down, left foot down. And we'll exchange, raising the right foot. We'll set that all down, setting the right foot down, the hands down, the knees down. All right. When we stand, if you have access to that wall, continue with it. Working a non-inverted forearm balance. Standing, I'll tell you, 10 inches from the wall, and placing the forearms overhead. From profile, it just kind of looks like this. I'm touching the finger, it's kind of a space. The need to bend backward. Inhaling, lift, reach up through the armpits and the arms and the elbows. And then exhaling, keep those biceps close to your temple, the sides of your head, lifting up. And we'll give it a good 6 breaths and allowing that breath to sink seep into, massage, move all of that wonderful chest and armpit area. You can further elongate through the backside by sending bone down. So that's that butt move. Very much like our bridge moves. And release. It's just a nice way that can be easy on the shoulder, yet really that upper back area. Let's move away from the wall into a where we'd want to do some suns and some extras. We're going to get pretty into it, so cheer pose, inhale, bend knees, reach arms overhead. And exhaling, softening eyes. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, step back. If you want to jump back, you sure could. I'm just going to step back. And for the meanwhile, I'm going to lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Anchoring the front of the hips toward the earth. So I'm both lifting and lengthening the spine forward. Exhaling, lower, reset the hands under the chest. Downward dog. Let's give this downward dog a moment in which we can get a sense of elongating the mid-spine, the mid-ribs, away from the upper spine and the upper ribs. So we're going to continue to explore the upper 2/3 of the rib cage today. Been on a bit of a streak. Sometimes I like a lot of consistent, gentler practices, kind of strung together and reminding each other of and the possibility of movement. Inhale, let's step the left foot forward for lunge. I recommend right knee. Bring the for bird wing, vascularizing the shoulder. Inhale, ribs expand into the arms. Exhale, arms give a squeeze and let me. And as I squeeze, I don't roll the shoulders forward, but I'm focusing on the squeeze that can be felt in the back edge of the armpit. We'll do a couple more. Inhaling is releasing the pressures. Feeling breath saturate into those armpit muscles, and then exhaling is the squeeze. And again, the squeeze is not here to compress the shoulder joint necessarily. Just getting some movement, some blood, some motion around the back of that shoulder. And a third. There you go. That's it. Chest opener. By open hand, face away. I'm stretching my arms behind me, and palms are facing the space behind me or the sky. Okay. You sure could. But when I do this open hand, I don't have any risk of my arms falling asleep. So it could be nice on shoulder things. And then two, I'm reaching my hands back, that space for me. Engaging the tricep. I can do it here. I don't really like to do it with hands clasped. So you can engage those triceps for a whole new world of feeling into the back of the arm. As you're lunging, just kneel, lunge. It's a lunge. There we go. Good. And then a release. Inhale, we'll set the hand. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Right. And then we can just do a little check together. So within your body, can you feel the sensation or the intensity? Is it stagnating? Does it remain local in the body areas? Does it move? And really simply to help feel the movement, the free-flowingness of that intensity, that breath, that sensation, there's an internal softening. There's also a slight expansion and softening of the mind, so you can track, feel, sense into enlarged territory. The mind can move there. The mind can move through there. I'm saying mind, I don't want to say attention. It's not an attentional move so much. Though you could make the move through your arm with one's attention. Inhale, step the right foot forward, lunge. Attention is wonderful. It's a way that we corral, we concentrate some degree of attunement, awareness. But it also has a lot of stricture to it. Right? It can be here, or it can be attending over here, or it can be attending over here. Let's bring the palms up, and we'll do 3 rounds of these shoulder engagements. Birdwing. Inhale, ribs into arms. And then exhale, squeeze, finesse the contraction toward the back armpit, the back side of the armpit. So we thereby broaden the front side. We'll do a couple more on our own. And then letting the arms go, inhale, reaching back. My palms are facing away from the rest of my body, almost toward the sky. And I'm both reaching my arms back, so the shoulder, the arm bone kind of slips, slides toward the back edge of mat. Engaging the tricep, fanning open the hand. And we'll release. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhaling, chaturanga. Triceps for a ride. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. And pausing here for a moment. I want to keep pointing to somewhere because I'm feeling it rather acutely, so it might be one of us. Is in that lower portion of the sternum, if you can attune and just feel or breathe. That solar plexus area, the diaphragm area, the lower sternum. Can you soften and lengthen behind that portion of the sternum? I'm just getting this sense that when we move into downward dog, we got to push down on that diaphragm and we'll let that diaphragm breathe. So it might feel like a subtle elongation through the front side of the body. Might feel like the ribs are moving more freely, drawing down away from the armpits. There you go, that's it. That's it. Inhale, step left foot forward. We'll pad the right knee. For archer and lunge. Okay. I'm going right elbow up. Left hand behind back by waist. Rather than using the stretch as a marker of being in the pose or intensity, can you get a sense of the flowingness or the movingness of that intensity? Is it free to move? I have a suspicion that our perception of intensity might be contingent on its fixity. Is the system open? An open system can support a lot of intensity. And do move into the lunge, because when we add the arms and the we can feel that shift in intensity rather. And I think it's a good teacher in moving practice, like focus on the sensation singular, to having a broader, more hovering feeling awareness for the whole body in the pose, or the front of the body in the so our awareness will release. Inhale the hands under the shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. All these lines through the body, points, areas. Inhale the right foot forward for lunge. Regard them as just routes by which we can expand, move our attention, and grow that attention into a more hovering shape of feeling awareness. Archer and lunge. Left elbow up, right elbow down. And we'll all find, right, that maybe the shape of our feeling awareness hovers more around a certain area than others. And this was and is largely the response of embodiment practices to transpersonal practices. These wonderful transpersonal meditation practices tended to shift our, we'll say, center of gravity, our awareness shape, the shape of our consciousness toward the top of our body. And a lot of these embodiment practices just help us reshape and the lower part of our body also. Right, so we'll release. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. And exhaling, downward dog. All right. So I'm going to set knees down and offer you one of two possibilities. So one path will be the lunge with a strap Let me just visually remind. And I believe we've done this earlier in the week, so nice to revisit something so close in our bodily history. Other option is wheel from bridge, and I'll be going into that. So if one of those tickles your curiosity, we'll start going. So there'll be 2 rounds. Those of you doing lunge with a foot strap connection, there's 2 sides. And for those of us doing wheel from bridge wheel, that'll be 1 set, and then bridge wheel will be the second round. Here we go. Entering. Those of you working wheel, no emergency exits. The intensity is part of the play. Moving, keeping connected to the breath, facilitates the movingness and the all-overness of our feeling awareness of the energy. So I imagine we're about halfway, so just consider a side change if you have not yet. And preparing for your second round of wheel. And consider your conclusion. For an unwind, we'll move to standing for some twisting horse stance. So take your time. Twisting horse. So inhaling, pressing with hands against thighs. And exhaling, let's press a little more through the left so we twist to our right. If I allow the shoulder to be pushed up, it's perfectly fine. But I also find that maybe because we did some armpit stuff, you can use those armpit muscles to secure the shoulder so it does not lift up into the neck. The result is you can get into a slightly different angle of your ribs, your sides, so and inhaling back to center, we'll switch sides, exhaling, pressing a bit more through the right hand, turning, twisting to the left. And inhale, come back centrally. We'll straighten legs. Heel toe feet together. We'll have a seat. And I want you to get a rest position that feels well for you. So if you're lying and you need to prop the legs up on something, please go right ahead. If you want to lie down and do some other form of back release, I understand that urge. And once you find your position, just that process of release. It's likely the body feels warmer. It's likely the body feels more mobile. is it possible to attune, so different than attend, attune to the flowingness, the movingness about the body. The flowingness and the movingness of sense awareness. And that flowingness and that movingness that we're able to attune to, it tends to be a cloud of probability, a shape about it. A shape with resonance. When you're ready, we'll bend knees. Turn to the kitty side and press to seated. Namaste.